Good afternoon. My guest will be shortly David Nanopoulos from the Office of Legal Affairs, and he is the head of the treaty section, and he'll give you the traditional OLA briefing on the annual treaty event. This year's theme is 80 Years of Multilateral Treaty Making at the UN. The event will be held during High Level Week. This morning, you saw that our Special Envoy for Syria, Geir Pedersen, briefed the Security Council on the latest development in that country. He said the Syrian interim authorities and Syrian people are attempting a transition in the face of numerous challenges. Mr. Pedersen warned that if these challenges are mishandled, the consequences could be dire, and called for the international community to support Syria and to stand against foreign intervention. For his part, Tom Fletcher, our Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, says that more than 70% of the population in Syria needs some form of humanitarian assistance, while 7 million people are internally displaced, and more than 4 million are refugees in neighboring countries. And he, of course, called on donors to give and to give generously to our various programs. The humanitarian appeal for Syria for this year is only 18% funded, which means that we can only reach a fraction of those that we need to reach. Turning to Gaza, the Office of the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs warns that the last remaining lifelines for civilians in Gaza City are collapsing amidst intensified military operations there. In just 5 days, 11 UNRWA premises serving as emergency shelters for about 11,000 people in Gaza City have been damaged after taking direct hits or indirect hits. Our partners tracking the movements of people in Gaza report that the number of displacement within the Strip is rising fast, now exceeding more than 1 million people since the ceasefire collapsed in mid-March. Some 200,000 displacements have been recorded from north to southern Gaza over the past month alone, including 56,000 since last Sunday alone. 56,000, yes, since Sunday, and that was as of yesterday. OCHA is alarmed by increasing reports of displaced families sleeping on the streets or in makeshift tents and struggling to survive. Despite heavy restrictions, we and our partners are doing everything possible to reach people across Gaza with life-saving support. OCHA's latest reporting on the response, which was published yesterday, said in the first half of September, our teams collected over 12,500 metric tons of wheat flour, food parcels, and bulk supplies from the Israeli-controlled crossings. Every day, they served nearly 560,000 meals through 116 kitchens and provided 10,000 loaves of bread to those moving to the south. To address malnutrition, our teams have continued to screen children and enroll them for treatment. UNICEF dispatched over 200,000 packs of nutrient-rich baby food to partners. That's enough to support over 63,000 infants and young children for 2 weeks. They also dispatched 10,000 boxes of high-energy biscuits, enough to assist more than 10,000 acutely malnourished and pregnant breastfeeding women for 1 month. On the health front, our teams collected nearly 900 pallets of essential medical supplies from the crossings and is delivering them to health facilities. They dispatched 120 ICU and emergency beds and 4 anesthesia machines to Al-Aqsa Hospital, which is in Deir al-Balah. To mitigate catastrophic water shortages amid ongoing restrictions and hostilities, they supported desalination and trucked water over all parts of Gaza, also scaled up solid waste collection for the safe disposal of 13,000 cubic meters of trash daily, and they distributed 1,000 kits, 1,500 cleaning kits, and another 1,500 water storage kits. But we need to be clear that the aid that is currently reaching people is still far short of what is actually needed. Opportunities to support starving people are being systematically blocked. According to our humanitarian colleagues, every week new restrictions are imposed. For example, Zikim crossing, which is the only one that it goes directly from Israel into the north, where famine, as you know, has been confirmed, has been shut since the weekend. Israeli authorities have also classified some food items, such as peanut butters, as quote-unquote luxuries that are not being allowed in, leaving large amounts of already procured aid stuck outside Gaza. On top of this, inspection rules vary by route, creating unpredictability and needless delays. And inside Gaza, humanitarian movements are also being blocked. Just yesterday, 3 of 14 coordinated movements were denied, including 2 intended to bring food to the north. Once more, I want to emphasize that we need a ceasefire. We need hundreds of trucks every day. We need safe and open routes. We need an end to bureaucratic delays. We need restoration of power, water, more meaningful commercial imports. We need the release of all the hostages that are still being held in Gaza by Hamas and other groups to be released immediately and unconditionally. And we need arbitrarily detained Palestinians freed from Israeli detention centers. Turning to Pakistan, our colleagues at OCHA tell us that humanitarian needs persist following this year's monsoon floods. Since the end of June, nearly 7 million people have been affected in the country. Nearly 3 million people have been evacuated, with 150,000 people sheltering in 1,580 evacuation centers set up by various authorities. We and our humanitarian partners continue to support the government-led response. To date, UNICEF has provided more than 2 metric tons of essential medicine to the north in the Punjab's province, north in the capital of Punjab province, Lahore, and over 2 metric tons to the south in the city of Multan. These medicines are being distributed to local health clinics. UNICEF has also provided nutrition supplies, safe drinking water, relocated school materials, and established temporary learning centers. WFP, for its part, is delivering food, nutrition services, cash assistance, and logistics support across Punjab and Sindh. As people begin to return to their homes, additional funding is needed to provide assistance and rehabilitate basic infrastructure. We've already released $5 million from the Central Emergency Fund. In addition, $1.5 million channeled to local NGOs from the Asia Pacific Humanitarian Fund. Also, just another humanitarian update from the grim situation in Haiti. Our humanitarian colleagues tell us that last week's deadly attack in the commune of Cabaret in the west forced thousands of people to flee their homes. As you'll recall, the Secretary General condemned the reported killing of at least 40 people, including women and children and the elderly, in that attack. According to the IOM, the attacks drove more than 4,700 people from their homes. More than 2/3 of them sought refuge in nearby commune of Arcae, while the majority of displaced are being hosted by families. 23% have found shelters in schools, in 4 schools. These attacks underscore once again the worsening security and humanitarian situation in Haiti. These attacks also come less than a month before the start of the new school year, further deepening the education crisis. Several schools already under strain are being used as displacement sites, which is, of course, disrupting the lives of both students and teachers. Forced displacements, destruction, attacks against people are driving up humanitarian needs, compounding existing crises in health, nutrition, and education. OCHA is also coordinating the response to ensure that assistance reaches the most vulnerable, despite extremely challenging conditions. Just to remind you, the humanitarian response in Haiti remains severely underfunded, with only 12% of what is needed, which is $908 million in the bank. A couple of notes. World Meteorological Organization today released a report showing the water cycle has become increasingly erratic and extreme, swinging between deluge and drought. The report says only about 1/3 of the global river basins had normal conditions in 2024. The rest were either above or below normal, the 6th consecutive year of clear imbalance. According to the report, 2024 is the 3rd straight year with widespread glacial loss across all regions. WMO also noted the Amazon basin and other parts of South America, as well as Southern Africa, are being gripped by drought in 2024. The report is online. What day is today? Besides that stupid joke, it is International Equal Pay Day. Equal pay for work of equal value for women and men everywhere is not only a fundamental matter of labor and human rights, also a matter of social justice and economic resilience. Speaking of resilience, I don't know about economic, but resilience. Mr. Bays.
Yes, there was a protest by UN staff today in Geneva. Almost 1,000 of them are part of the UN for Gaza movement.
Yeah.
What is the Secretary General's reaction to that, and why did he not give permission when UN staff in New York asked again to make a protest here? And is it anything to do with the fact that the UN for Gaza tell me that there has been pressure on the UN coming from both Israel and the US? Surely UN staff, given that many of their colleagues have died in Gaza, should be allowed free expression.
Look, I think it is right for all of us, and I think the Secretary General has also expressed his outrage and solidarity with our colleagues who've been killed in Gaza, and that's a fact. There are rules and regulations for staff to engage in activities outside of their normal activities, which sometimes need to be applied. I think all of us as international civil servants have obligations to respect the staff rules, respect the impartiality. We work for the people of Gaza, just like we work for the people of Myanmar and the people of Sudan and Haiti through our work that we do every day.
Surely they were respecting the rules if they were asking for permission. Why was the permission not granted? And is it based on pressure from Israel and the US?
It is. Listen, I don't have the details of this particular incident you're saying, but what I'm saying is that the Secretary General and the Secretary will apply staff rules across the board.
I have another question later.
I reserve you the right. Equal questions for you, Linda.
Thank you, Steph. Apropos of Gaza, I was wondering, what is the status of UNRWA these days in terms of its funding, of how many staff are working, are they receiving salaries?
I mean,
what
the funding continues to be a challenge, and UNRWA continues to operate its mandate, whether it's in the occupied Palestinian Territory, facing great challenges, as well as Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan.
But everyone's working?
People are working, yes. Yeah. Yes, Evelyn.
Could you explain again why peanut butter is banned?
I think that's a question you have to ask the Israelis. I told you the response we were given is that it was considered a quote-unquote luxury item.
It's considered what?
A luxury item, yeah. That's what they told us, okay. Iftikhar, and then Alex.
Thank you, Steph. Regarding the floods in Pakistan, has any estimate been given by our UN teams about the damage, the extent of damage caused by the floods, and also has a flash appeal been issued in this connection?
Is any pressure issue? I don't understand the question. I don't have the details of the damage. I didn't understand the question.
No, I said, has any flash appeal been issued?
Yeah, I don't know if a flash appeal has been issued. I know we've released funds through the Central Emergency Fund, but I will check the rest for you.
Thank you.
Okay. No further. Oh, Alex, sorry.
Thanks, Steph. It looks like the Security Council will vote on snapback tomorrow. Any expectations? Any
I
comments?
think you will have to ask the presidency of the council for any expectations. I've
Thank
only
you.
seen the press reports. Mr. Bays.
I can't actually watch the Security Council while attending your briefing.
I know
but
what-
Mr. Pedersen, the Special Envoy, is speaking to the Council again. There are suggestions he is about to resign. Can you confirm that to us? What would the Secretary General, if that's the case, like to say about Mr. Pedersen's tenure of the job?
I will let Mr. Pedersen speak before we make any comment, but I think you know the high regard in which the Secretary General holds Mr. Pedersen.
What is the UN planning for its mission in Syria? Should the mission still be based in Geneva, or should the mission now be an integrated
I
mission
think
inside Syria?
there are different options being looked at. Obviously, the mission will have to change, given the mission situation on the ground has changed completely. All right, don't go away. We will leave you with our
He
guest.
has apparently announced his resignation.
Just now?
Would you like to now pay tribute to him?
I will have I will have to trust you, James.
No, but would you like to pay? Would you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to?
no, I
in a different tense, your answer.
Yeah,
Geir
no, I
Pedersen
think,
has resigned. What is the Secretary General's
He
reaction?
has indeed informed the Security Council of his decision to step down for personal matters after 6.5 years of service. Just as a personal envoy, as a special envoy for Syria, Mr. Pedersen has had a long association with the United Nations, served in different roles. The Secretary General accepted his request to step down. I think Mr. Pedersen has emphasized that he's deeply indebted to and profoundly grateful to the Syrian people who've demonstrated extraordinary courage and humanity throughout those years. We don't have a final date for him to leave office, but I know he is personally committed to working until the last day. And just on a personal note, he is someone I've worked with for a long, long time, and I've enjoyed all my dealings with him as a great diplomat.
Can I have one last? It's my frivolous question of the day. As a visitor here now, and as a visitor, I noticed the Security Council stakeout has a new backdrop, and several people have remarked to me it's not actually the right UN blue.
Welcome back, James. All right, we'll leave you with David Nanopoulos. I can't say we've missed you, but welcome back.